My brother got 80 million, a Tesla and a mansion. Then a stranger placed an envelope in my hand. My name is Ethan, and I'm a 29-year-old artist living in a quiet suburb of Los Angeles. People have always called me a failure, but one day, I uncovered a secret that changed everything. In my family, the Carver household, I was always the ghost. My parents, Malcolm and Vivian, poured all their aspirations into my brother, Jack the golden child. Jack was their hero, a chess master, a Stanford graduate with a full scholarship. I was simply Ethan, the one they overlooked, the one they saw as unremarkable. At 13, I overheard my mother telling a neighbor, "Jack is our star. Ethan, he's just trying." Those words stayed with me like a cold shadow. Family meals were Jack's time to shine. The glass dining table sparkled under the lights with Malcolm at the head, Jack soaking up all the compliments, and Vivian agreeing with every boast. I sat in a corner, my words lost in their noise. Once when I was 15, I mentioned I'd won a school art competition. Malcolm barely looked up. "Ethan, arts are just a hobby. Jack is mastering strategy." Their laughter stung, and I learned to keep my thoughts to myself. Jack wore his role like a shield. He was tall with a strong jaw and a sharp mind. He'd make fun of me without even trying. At 17, I started working at a local coffee shop to save money for my future. One evening, Jack saw me leaving, my apron stained. "Be careful, Ethan," he smirked from the living room. "Don't let the grease ruin our family's reputation." My parents chuckled, and I slipped out the door, quietly closing behind me in my pride. My only sanctuary was my Aunt Beatrice Carver. She had built our family's $50 million software business from nothing, a woman of great resolve, who cared about character more than status. At her lakeside cabin, she'd ask about my sketches, not my grades. One evening, as we watched the sunset, she said, "Ethan, their disapproval does not define you. You have a fire inside you they can't see. When the time is right, you will shine." Her words echoed in my mind, a promise I couldn't yet understand. Jack's Stanford graduation was a celebration for the entire Carver family. My parents hosted a spectacular party at a rooftop venue in San Francisco with views of the city. I wore Jack's old suit, which didn't fit right, and was told to sit at a table in the corner. As Jack walked across the stage, Malcolm clapped like a king and Vivian beamed next to him. I clapped too, but my hands felt heavy and my heart sank under their indifference. The party was a showcase of wealth, with guests in designer clothes, jazz music playing, and Malcolm's voice booming across the room. "Tonight, we celebrate Jack Carver, our legacy's heir," announced. "He will inherit our $50 million company, our $8 million coastal estate, and a new luxury car." The crowd cheered and glasses clinked. Jack smiled, feeling invincible. I hid behind a large plant and heard Vivian whisper as she walked by, "Ethan, don't ruin Jack's night." As the crowd toasted Jack, a man in a gray suit came over to me, his eyes intense. He placed a sealed folder on my table and whispered, "Time for you to reveal the truth." He disappeared into the crowd before I could say anything. My heart pounded. The folder felt like a bomb filled with possibilities. I hid it under my blazer, wondering what truth he was talking about. While Malcolm was still praising Jack, I opened the folder. Inside were legal documents with stamps and notarized signatures naming me, Ethan Carver, as the true heir to the company, the estate and secret accounts. A note from Beatrice in her elegant handwriting read, "Ethan, I chose you because of your heart, which was shaped by their neglect. You see what truly matters. This empire is yours to lead with courage." My breath caught. Beatrice had seen me not as a failure, but as the future. I felt a mix of fear and determination. Confronting my family meant destroying their perfect image. But I was tired of being invisible. As another toast began, I stood up, my knees shaking, and walked toward the stage. Malcolm's eyes narrowed. "Ethan, not now," he said angrily. Jack smirked, expecting me to back down. I held up the folder. "Beatrice Carver chose me," I said, my voice strong. "Not Jack, not you, Malcolm. The company, the estate, everything is mine." Gasps filled the room. Jack's glass froze in his hand. Malcolm scoffed. "Beatrice was mistaken." A clear voice rang out. "I am never mistaken." Beatrice stood up, her gray hair shining in the light, her presence silencing the entire room. "Ethan has the bravery you ignored," she said. "He will lead with heart, not with arrogance." The crowd murmured, then started to applaud, drowning out Malcolm's protests. He stormed off with Vivian, following her composure gone. Jack stared at me, his confidence shattered. Outside the lights of San Francisco glittered. "You feel it now, don't you?" Beatrice asked me. I nodded, her trust grounding me. The boy they called ordinary was gone. I was Ethan Carver, finally seen, finally heard. To anyone who feels insignificant because of someone else's opinion, remember this: your worth is not determined by their judgment. Your moment will come and your truth will outshine all their lies. Hold up. The video ends here, but your job isn't done. Smash that subscribe button, or the next spooky story might feature you only on Home Exposed.